Yeah, see?
If it just shattered, then that would have been hilarious.
Smooth fuzz.
What did that say?
Smooth fuzz.
Not what I thought it was going to say. I thought it's...
Why did your lightsaber shout smooth fuzz at people?
Hello and welcome back to the Geek Week in Review with me, Jacob's Toys, and of course the wonderful one and only Super Sorrel. And as you can probably see, we have still got Ryan Speaks Geek with us as well this week because he was fun to have around last week. So we thought, why not? We'll keep him on board for this week as well. Obviously, if you're enjoying the show, then please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things, and check out the description below for Sorrel's details and Ryan's details, and obviously give those guys a follow if you don't already. So, gentlemen, what a week. What a varied week as well.
Busy week.
Very busy week.
It was a lot of everything. There was a lot of stuff coming out that just kind of piqued my interest and kind of, oh, that sounds good. That looks good. I mean, where to even start? I mean, let's stick with what we know. Obviously, been watching Marvel What If, and we saw episode 5.
Yeah.
Episode 5, wasn't it? Zombies. Just Marvel What If zombies, which does mean that my prediction on the episode lineup. Remember a little while back, and I think it was when we had Customs by Machu on, and we went through the lineup, and I predicted what was there, and I got zombies well out of sync. But what an episode! What an amazing episode! I really enjoyed it.
So good. So many echoes back to the graphic novel as well. Like, well, the comic series, obviously, but just with little things where some of the characters are in the same situations, but with different zombie characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So have you guys read the Marvel Zombies? Are you familiar with Marvel Zombies?
I think I've read Marvel Zombies 1, but I don't think I've read. There's 3 in there, 2 and 3. There's 3.
There's a couple of crossovers.
Yeah. I've read like the first. I read the initial one, I think, back in the day.
Yeah, that was like
Army of Darkness, and then there was Howard the Duck one, and it got really weird. Even for zombies, it got really weird.
Yeah. I think the first one came out in around 2005, wasn't it? It was early, it's kind of early 2000s. The one thing I really liked about the Marvel Zombies, like graphic novel though, was obviously Robert Kirkman's involvement, because he's the zombie guy, with The Walking Dead and all the rest of it. So I think that's probably what piqued my interest initially, because having read The Walking Dead and all the rest of it, it was kind of like the name was familiar, and I was kind of like, I know who this guy is, and obviously went on to read all of The Walking Dead and still watching it now on today.
They didn't shy away from it whatsoever. I thought they might have toned it down with it being a family show or like on Disney Plus, and they're kind of pushing it towards a family audience. They proper went for it.
Yeah,
they've sort of, it's one of those things where, because Disney now doesn't just have kids stuff on it anymore, like Disney Plus, I kind of feel like they've gone, maybe we can start pushing out the boat a bit more. And also, like, actually, if you're a parent, it's your responsibility. Control your kids. If they're not ready to watch this, don't show them to them.
Funny you should say that, though, because I sat down with my 9-year-old son to watch it, and it started, and I was kind of like, oh, did I just make a parenting error here? Like, it's superheroes, honestly, it's fine. But no, I was kind of, he loved it, don't get me wrong, and he was fine, he slept fine. But it was definitely, like you say, actually definitely went there, didn't it? It definitely kind of went there. I mean, just to recap, the actual stories of the Marvel Zombies book was similar but different, wasn't it? So obviously in the TV show, it was all about the quantum realm and the virus being in a quantum, and I thought that was really clever. I really liked that. And it was only in that show when they kind of said that she had contracted some kind of virus that I was kind of like, oh man, I hadn't even thought about that at the time. Like that, she'd been there so long, had something happened, or could something have happened? And that was obviously
they were going to do aliens or meteorite landing or something. I didn't think they were going to go down the quantum realm.
No. Well, the comic book is obviously just, like with most Marvel books, it's kind of like, let's do something different. So it's on a different version of Earth. It's Earth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, So, and obviously that's how the comic book works. But I thought this was a much cleverer way in. I thought it was a much better buy-in. I like you say, Ryan, I like the little echoes. So like Black Panther obviously being kept alive, and in the comic book as well, he was kept alive. But I think my favorite, and I don't know if you picked up on this, Yeah, well, it's Giant Man, wasn't it, in the comic book? But my favorite kind of callback, if you like, to the comic books was that Paul Rudd's Ant-Man's head was in a jar. And obviously in the comic book, it was the decapitated wasp in a jar, which I thought was really cool. And I was kind of like, when there was, I didn't know how it was coming, but I was hoping that they were going to do the head in a jar. And it was just, yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I thought it was good as well because it was a bit like, when you had Headpool in the Marvel Zombie universe.
Yes,
it had the wisecracking mix of it because it was Paul Rudd doing all the jokes constantly, with the nod to it being obviously Wasp in the other one. It's like my fist is gold when I'm doing this like this.
I was gonna say, I think they missed an absolute trick by not having Headpool and getting Ryan Reynolds to do the voice. I think they missed an opportunity to include Deadpool in the MCU and failed.
Yeah,
imagine if it's totally serious for him to jump in and break some fourth wall.
That would have just blown everyone's mind. And just the end of that episode, just seeing Headpool and hearing Ryan Reynolds' voice, that would have just been mind blowing.
The little propeller cap just amazing, flying across the screen.
Yeah,
that would have been really cool. That really would have been cool. What did you think of the ending?
I really felt like it was actually. It felt like the first part of a two-parter almost. The way the ending it felt me like this is the first one I thought. Is this going to be a second episode next week?
Yeah,
I think so. Because the start I did the same thing with Captain Britain. They didn't leave it in World War II. She got thawed out in modern day world, or she got through to the modern day world thanks to the portal. So I think in season 2 we might see sequel episodes that carry on the stories. Maybe.
Yeah, I think we got to it because in the comic book again. I mean, this is where comic books kind of go mad because correct me if my knowledge is wrong here, but from what I remember, the kind of zombie collective of like the Hulk and whatnot, they kind of overpower Galactus and then become some kind of zombie Galactus Galacti, I think it was called. And then they go off and just devour planets with as a zombie and stuff. And I really hoped it wasn't going there because that's so out there. But then seeing Thanos with all the Infinity Stones and kind of
being zombified.
Yeah, I was like, where's this going? But yeah, I liked it. But my personal thoughts is I think just seeing Thanos with the stone, I think that was just a kind of a pop at the end to kind of get everyone to go, oh, look at that. But
I reckon it's like you said, I reckon it's like season 2 potentials. Like there's a couple of episodes from What If I feel like you said with Captain Britain as well. Like they are like because if they're going to do a season 2, like you said, they can actually afford to maybe do half a season of sequel episodes and then half a season of new stories. Like they could probably lend themselves that because it's also maybe a clever way of getting some return viewers as well. Going if they know there's going to be sequel episodes, they can go, oh, okay, well we can find out more about those stories. But it just feeds into my love of weird sort of just putting zombies in things because I love Star Wars Death Troopers is an awesome book, and then randomly on holiday I found in a bookshop, a charity shop, Night of the Living Trekkies, which is this amazing zombie book. Like it's quite short, but it's quite fun to read. Where zombie outbreak happens at a Star Trek convention. Just shooing in zombies into things is amazing. Wow. Marvel has just proven that it still works.
So how many of us are disappointed in the Marvel Legends Spider-Man now that's coming out in that wave because he didn't wear the cape in the whole damn episode?
Well, I don't know.
They made out a big deal of the fact that Spider-Man had the cape. Yeah, Doctor Strange's cape, and then in the episode he didn't even really use it, did he? He was just a regular Spidey all the way through.
Yeah, I would have liked maybe him with his little video camera with the
even a minifigure. Like that's it's there.
Pop vinyl, the legends, and everything.
That's not Paul Rudd. However, it is now going to be Paul Rudd. That's now Ant-Man's head. But no, I don't know. Like for me personally, I was kind of when I first saw the Marvel Legends, I was like that head that unmasked head is going in my head box because it doesn't look like Spider-Man. It's whatever. But then having watched the episode, I was like, actually, I wouldn't mind now displaying him without the mask on, if that makes sense, because I quite like the Spider-Man character in that episode. Which is odd because it's one of the few MCU characters that's not obviously voiced by the MCU actor, isn't it? So, but on the topic of voice acting, I think the voice acting in this was a lot better. There was one part that was definitely a big pop for me, and that was when Bucky Barnes got the shield, and it was seeing like the Winter Soldier with the shield and just casually just popping on his back, and I was like, yeah, done, love it. But yeah,
also
I see where you're coming from.
Like
Who?
Kurt. They're just like, right, what other
Oh, yeah.
character can we keep alive in this whole zombie apocalypse? Happy, I thought was nice because you needed that emotional tie for Peter, like for Peter
Mhm.
Parker. Kurt.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought he was really funny in the episode, but like, it was like they put like all the extra characters on a big dartboard and just went, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the opening scene though with Banner and Moore and all the rest of it, and Doctor Strange and Iron Man and that. I thought that was really cool. But no, I loved it. I thought it was a really good episode.
Everyone hates Iron Man in this series so far, though.
I would go as far as saying it's my favorite one so far.
And maybe just say we have seen half of the season now, and we do have that Marvel Legends Monday coming up tomorrow. Is it now because spoilers are technically over after the weekend and they can talk about it? Could it be the Wanda figure coming up? Because everybody would pop for that Wanda. Everybody would buy that. Imagine
I've started
more.
I've started 2 customs of 2 of the characters already, just because I was like, because we've got the Captain America zombie, haven't we?
Mhm.
We got that as part of the wave, and it's a cool looking figure. And I was like, there's a couple more zombies I need to have in that collection, and there's a couple that are easy to do. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give that a shot.
They did the full range of those zombie characters. I think I would be very tempted, even though I don't collect that range, because I love zombies. That could be my Halloween Marvel display.
Yeah, definitely. I think if they did do the zombie Wanda before they did the Agatha Harkness, I think people would riot.
It's just the fact that it would be so easy for them to do. They've already got the Wanda figure. All they would need to do is paint it differently, give her some scars. It would be such an easy mold for them to do. So I could definitely see them doing it.
Same as Iron Man though, and he's one of the customs I'm doing. He's literally just a new head. Like, give us a new head. They could even pop that in a box. They could have given us that with Captain America, and then everyone could have popped that on one of the Iron Man suits, and then there you go. But yeah, I thought she was cool though. I thought she looked scary. She looked like you'd want her to, didn't you? But yeah, do we know what the next episode is now? I
have no idea.
Have they mentioned?
I've got a clue.
I'm sure there was a teaser, either that or it was. I'm thinking of the list I had.
Let's have a look, see if
I don't know. But I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It was a series that, for me personally, I was excited for it. I was less excited when I found it was animated. Then when I saw the artwork, I got more excited, and I kind of went backwards and forwards. But so far, I'm really, really enjoying it.
It's the I think it's the one with Killmonger.
Oh, Tony Stark and Killmonger.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, no, that's exciting. Yeah, I had seen the trailer for that, or the promo for that. All right, so let's talk about some of the other. Anything else you want to say about What If? Because zombies. It was cool.
No, but I just wanted to get in there about Wanda being awesome. That was it.
Shit was pretty cool.
I like the episode for me.
It was pretty cool. Did you call it though? Did you
No.
Did you call that she was
I
going to
didn't
be?
call Vision being the villain. That was awesome.
No.
Yeah, Vision.
Keeping her alive.
He was. But yeah, no, I liked it. And I didn't call any of the stuff. So it was enjoy. And even having read the book, it was hard to call. So yeah. Favorite character of the episode?
Wanda.
Oh, okay. See, mine would have been Bucky. I thought Bucky was awesome in it.
It was Spider-Man got me with his speech about smiling. I don't know why. It got me in the emotional heart. It's got me in the feels. Got me in the feels.
Right in the feels. All right, cool. So talking about other stuff that was revealed, let's talk a little bit about PS5. So we saw, you see, like I'm honouring it with my T-shirt here, but we saw three.
Got it.
That's it. Star Wars, you nailed it. Well, there was 3 games. So first one, obviously, you've mentioned it. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, remastered, isn't it? Remastered or remade?
Remastered. No, well, it's a remake. Sorry, remake.
I think it's like Crash Bandicoot, where they sort of remake it, but for the entire ground up, but to honour the original completely. I think.
I'm hoping it's a complete remake, as in like all new story and everything. I'm hoping it's not just a retelling of the first game. I'm hoping they do something new with it as well. It's been a long time since that game came out. I think if they just gave us the same game, I don't know.
Well, you got to think of the age bracket of gamers and stuff. There will be a lot of people that are massive gamers now that wouldn't have played that first one. or wouldn't go near it because it's such an old game. And the one thing I will say for the Star Wars games is that the stories always tend to be really, really good. Like, canon or not canon, they always seem to really draw you in. So I don't think they could really go wrong either way. I think
to be the unpopular opinion here, I've got a feeling of what they might. Kids today have not got the attention span for that first game with all that dialogue and all them option choices. I've got a feeling it's going to change, and it'll be your actions dictate the consequences, but not through all these tick box exercises. I reckon it'll just be a bit like the Star Wars games we've had so far, and a few choices in the game, a bit like what Mass Effect did, the way they sort of did it. I think they might do it that way,
or even like Fallen Order. That there was still that element of choice, but
Fallen Order.
Or they'll just completely ruin it and they'll just make it like a Fortnite battle royale. It's like,
God, I hope not.
It's I don't know. I'd play it. I'm not going to lie, but there you go. And then the other two games. So I am massively looking forward to it.
I will say one thing in its defense. One, I can't believe we've got to the point in our lives where we can comfortably say kids today won't have the attention span. That was a horrible realization. I was like, oh yeah, I am old enough to say that now, that kids today won't. Because I'm sitting there with my Dark Forces 2 big box PC in the background. People won't even know what a big box is anymore. PC games. I actually hope they keep closer to the original. I'm the opposite. I actually hope they keep close to the original, but just maybe put some extra content in it, like expand the story. But I would like them to keep fairly close to the original, a bit like Crash Bandicoot. Add some features, maybe a bit of extra places to explore, but stick pretty close to the source.
I think you've got to consider the console as well, because the originals came out on, they were out on everything, weren't they? What was it? PC,
Xbox original.
It's Xbox One, wasn't it? The very first, well, not Xbox One, but the Xbox. Whereas PlayStation 5 is much more about the graphics and the abilities and stuff like that. So I think that I'm kind of on your side there, Sorrel. I think that they're gonna kind of get rid of some of the dialogue for the sake of big action scenes and big cut scenes and stuff like that. So but I'm excited. I enjoyed the games the first time round, so definitely will play it. And there was two other trailers. So the other one obviously being Wolverine, which was quite a standard trailer. There's a lot of little nods in there. I don't know if you noticed, but behind the bar there was a lot of kind of little nods to comic books and various bits and bobs, just like a number plate that had like the Hulk comic book that Wolverine debuted in and stuff like that. So didn't really give anything away, did they? Except for it's
Wolverine in the bar.
Yeah, it's as soon as you saw that cowboy hat and the hairy knuckles, you knew who it was going to be.
I almost wanted to recreate that scene where like Charles and Magneto walk in,
Yeah,
to talk to you about it. Bug off.
Yeah, no, brilliant.
How cool would it be if that was the actual game? The opening sequence is Magneto and Charles walking in and him saying "fuck off."
That's it. You know what? I'm going to say one thing as well, because obviously I did an interview with Cal Dodd quite a while back. Obviously the voice of animated X-Men's Wolverine and Marvel versus Capcom. And I would love it if they'd got him back on board for the voice. I'm not going to lie. Like if it was animated Wolverine's voice in a PS5 game, that would just tick all the boxes for me. And having spoken to him, I think he would do it as well. I don't think he would.
The guy who voiced Solid Snake apparently is asking to do the voice. He's kind of lobbied all weekend long since they showed the trailer. He's been he's been very active on social, saying that he wants the role.
That works sometimes, and then you got other cases like Nathan Fillion trying to get Uncharted, where it doesn't work. Bless him.
Yeah. And then the last trailer obviously was
Jacob, are you all right, mate?
Yeah, you having a moment?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You did a minute ago. You just sort of went.
No, I've got fireworks going off. That's what it was. I could hear it.
I was waiting for like a SWAT team to bust through your like. I thought this was gonna be the dramatic live stream reveal where it's like, get down on the ground.
The printout that's behind me is just going to fall down. it's just that I was like, oh, is it good? I've got to hold it up. But no, it's not a printout. It's a real collection. Just going to say. And then the last trailer was a big one. Spider-Man 2, as they named it, which is a bit of a bizarre name considering technically Spider-Man 3. but yeah, it was just. I mean, how do you break it down? I mean, Miles Morales had a new suit.
I thought they could have called it Spider-Man, done like an alien thing.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's. But we saw
The
Venom.
Spider-Man.
Obviously, Venom was in it, and I believe it's Craven's voice as well. The tone of the dialogue and what he's saying, very Craven-esque, and it sounded like a Craven.
it would make sense for the game as well, I think.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see what Venom's involvement is, because the dialogue didn't sort of set Venom up as the villain, did it? Really, it kind of what I took from the dialogue was that Craven was trying to find obviously somebody to compete with, and Venom was basically stepping up to the mark and sort of saying, "Well, I could do that." But I don't know. I'm curious to see what the story will be.
Venom's become more of a hero in the films nowadays, though. People sort of see him as he's like an anti-hero, isn't he, rather than a villain. It's not like 90s Spider-Man cartoons anymore. He's actually potentially kind of a good guy in the films. Because they got Tom Hardy.
Can we all just say it's going to be awesome because it's Tony Todd? It's Candyman. Come on.
Is that who's playing Venom?
That's whose voice is Venom, It's Tony Todd.
Oh.
He's just an amazing actor, isn't he?
Oh, incredible.
The new one. The new
Incredible.
Candyman's real good.
Is it? Just a little drop in there. Go watch Candyman. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I love that film. I loved that film when I was younger. Oh no, that's really cool. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. To be perfectly honest with you, the Spider-Man game was the swinger for me. That was the one that was kind of got me interested. And I'd pick up the others as don't make the lewd, dirty jokes there, Ryan. Come on, you're better.
No, I meant about Spider-Man swinging.
You're better than that.
I thought you meant about Spider-Man swinging. I was much more innocent about that than you were.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I made a clever pun. See, that was what I was intending.
I was going for that pun. Filthy mind.
Spider-Man was definitely the swinger for me there. See what I did there?
I'm wondering whether they'll use Venom sparingly in this game, so then they can make another spin-off game titled Venom.
You know that.
Marketing teams are good at that. This is what they do. And then they'll give us some form of teaser of Spider-Gwen or whatever she's going to call her, Ghost Spider now. And she'll have her own, like in the third installment of the game, she'll be included with Miles and Peter. You know what I mean? They'll just keep building on it like that. They'll follow this little pattern.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The real question is, game. What is the guaranteed DLC going to be then? Because it's going to pick one slightly sub character to make a big DLC that you have to pay loads of money for.
Well, that's really stupid, like the Rise of the Goblin or Rhino.
No, see, I think having played the other games, my theory is you had the first Spider-Man, and that included Miles, and then obviously Miles had his own game, and now you've obviously got the two of them in this game. And I think you're right. I think that there's going to be a third character, whether that be like a Ben Reilly or a Spider-Gwen, and they're going to be featured, and then they're potentially going to, if it goes well, then they'll potentially have a new game as well. I think that the Venom will be the DLC. I think that there'll be a DLC element of Venom, and then based on how popular that is, will determine on whether they're going to make a Venom game on its own. That's my theory.
The whole Symbiote game would be cool.
Yeah, they could easily do it where they're just like, they have Venom as a character in the game, and then the DLC is you take control of Venom. Now you control Venom. Take down Carnage. And you can hear the advert. And it's just like that's how they'll go about it, and
they'll get Topher Grace back to do the voice as well.
Oh no!
Yeah. So one of the things I did read as well that people are speculating is Wolverine and Spider-Man, 2 games coming out at the same time. Are they going to cross over? Is there going to be a crossover element in it? I don't think necessarily.
Everything's got a crossover now. No one is ever satisfied with anything not crossing over.
No, that was one of the biggest discussions I noticed is people talking about, it's got to be a crossover. There's going to be a crossover.
Is it
not necessarily?
Is it 2 different studios that are doing the games? That's the main thing to look at. If it's if it's the same studio, then potentially, there could be something there. But if it's 2 different studios, they won't want to cross IPs. Definitely not.
No, it's Insomniac, isn't it? Is it Insomniac?
What's the name of the one? I didn't look, to be fair. That's one thing I didn't look.
I can't remember. I don't remember noticing.
Companies.
I don't remember noticing. But yeah, I mean, they're cool. Not much we can say more about the trailers than what we saw, really, is there?
I really would hope that there wouldn't be any crossover with Spider-Man, just because there's so many stories they can do with Wolverine, with Hulk and X-Men and that sort of side of things. I think they should leave the Spider-Verse bit to itself. Not really. Wolverine doesn't really belong there, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's enough content in both like worlds to satisfy their own sections. Really, they don't need to borrow. From
Speaking of crossovers, did you play the Avengers game?
A little bit when it first came out, and then I got very bored very quick.
I got very bored very, very quickly. But the DLC for that, like the trailers for the DLC for that, you got the Hawkeye stuff, the Black Panther stuff, looks incredible. But I did kind of give up on that game a long time ago. But as a PlayStation owner, you were promised Spider-Man. And I don't know, I don't think he's been released yet because, as I said, I gave up on the game. But we're still waiting for that crossover as far as I'm aware. If it has happened, then it happened and I didn't even notice it. But that's proof in the pudding of kind of like throwing Spider-Man in the crossover doesn't necessarily work. Don't get me wrong, it made me buy the game because I was like, brilliant, we'll have Spider-Man in it as well. But not yet.
The games that worked for Marvel that they need to remake, in my opinion, was the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you ever played those, but they gave you a massive roster of characters. You chose 4 at a time. It was very much Hero Click style, wasn't it? That Hero Click kind of thing. If they made that again and just did it with modern graphics and stuff, they could really have some fun with that.
That'd be brilliant. That'd be really good. Really, really good. So watch this space, I suppose. What was it? 2023, I think they said for the Spider-Man game. So that's another kind of at least 100 episodes before we can actually talk about what's in the it's in the actual thing.
I might actually be able to afford a PS5 by then. So who knows?
Right, we'll put the link to the GoFundMe in there for Ryan in the.
That's probably part of the plan,
Yeah.
Why release a game? Why release a game when nobody could buy the console?
No. And they were clever with it as well.
It would be the PS5 Slim Vita, and they'll release it in a package. I bet you anything. That's there you go. That's my prediction. They release it with the new PS5 Slim that doesn't look like a wireless router. This one will look like, I don't know, like a shoe shine box or something. And then they'll make it slightly thinner. They'll say it's quieter. Basically, all the things they knew they could do from the start, but they're just going to re-release it. And those people will trade in their old PS5s to get that one, and then that's when I'll be able to afford a normal PS5. Plan.
But they did that with the Miles Morales game, though, didn't they? Because they geared it up as to coincide with the release of the PS5. And I was like, I need to play this game. I need to play it. So I was kind of iffing and butting about buying a PS5 at the time. And then I read that it was coming out on the PS4 as well. So I was like, oh, sod it then. I'll wait. I'll just play it on the PS4. So I think you're right. I think they're clever with the marketing and they've done it so that people do kind of invest long term so that they can afford that PS5, if you like.
It will still come out before the Lego Star Wars game. Sweet Jesus, I've been waiting ages for that. I made sure I pre-ordered that, the special edition from Game. Like, oh, got to get that, the Carbonite edition, blah, blah, blah. Every time they announce it, it's like fucking Game of Thrones with the dragons. It's always coming, but it's never here.
But think about how amazing it'll be when you finally get your hands on it.
I hope so.
Yeah, it'll just be like all the other Lego games.
Because you can play as Yaddle. Don't forget Yaddle. Ever forget Yaddle. That's 2 episodes in a row now I've mentioned Yaddle. That's more than most YouTube channels ever.
That's just, I think it's the most airtime Yaddle's got in the last however many months. All right, so
film coming.
I'll throw it to you guys. Do we go direction of Marvel Legends, or do we go in the direction, or I'll give you a blue pill and a red pill. Do we go in the direction of Marvel Legends or a particular trailer that dropped?
I think we should stay with the trailer, then go with the toys afterwards as one big final bundle.
Let's do it then. So, Matrix 4.
I got so excited when that trailer dropped. I'm not gonna lie, I was so hyped.
I was waiting to be disappointed by a trailer, and then I got really excited by it.
I went really hard for the Matrix. Like, I went in hard with the toys, the comic books. Mate, you joke, right? But in 1999, when that Matrix film came out, and then the coat shop started selling the full-length leather coats, and it was almost acceptable to own one. I looked at it, I was like, I need one of these in my life. If I walk into a club wearing these, people are going to know me. I didn't buy one.
2 machine guns,
buy one. I didn't buy one. But people went really hard for the Matrix because it was just awesome. It was just like mind blowing, wasn't it?
The Matrix phone, to have the Matrix phone was a big thing as well.
And it had the ringtone on it and everything.
Yeah,
I know. And then there was a whole range. I think it was 2 series of they weren't action figures as such. They were Mcfarland, I think, weren't they?
Yeah. They did the awesome, which I still want to get, the Agent Smith in the Matrix code, like see-through, like from Neo's vision. They did the Trinity, so you could get them and put the scenes together. Like,
but there was also like a random kind of early version of them all as well, and you had the Neo with the mouth covered up and stuff, and they were like real kind of bargain bucket looking toys. But obviously at the time it was Matrix, and by the time the last Mcfarland ones came out, they were so detailed, but they held the really cool poses, didn't they? So
they had the APC carry as well from the third one as well. They put a lot of money on that.
And this was back in before, obviously, the internet was massive. Let's be honest. So things like the I can't remember what it was called, but the DVD that was the animated, like the anime story.
The Animatrix.
What was that called? The Animatrix.
The Animatrix. Yeah, they're awesome.
And it was
still hold up.
You couldn't just kind of go online and watch them on YouTube like you would nowadays, but obviously you had to kind of have the DVD or know someone that had the DVD.
Even the CGI episode, The Search for Osiris, what we called. The one with the proper animated one, like the CGI one, with the 2 in the dojo, that animation still holds up to this day. That is still beautiful looking now. And that's 10, 20 years ago now.
I know.
Insane. 20 years ago, plus. Jesus. I'm old.
Yeah, 20 years plus. Because
I'm out.
I'm pretty sure I had them on, never mind DVD. I'm pretty sure I had both on VHS. Pretty sure I had Animatrix on VHS.
I think you might be right.
The Matrix came in one of those really cool cardboard sleeves, even on DVD.
Yeah,
but it was weird. It was like that weird environmentally conscious time for DVDs where some of them came in cardboard cases, which just had like a little clip plastic on it, or the VHS had like a big cardboard thing that used to like slide over the top. It was awesome.
Yep.
So many references that people today, like youngsters that didn't grow up in that era, will not have a clue. Like when Neo first gets hacked out of the Matrix into the real world, it's the sound of the dial-up as it goes through his mouth. It's the sound of the dial-up modem. Yeah. Kids, I've got no idea what that sound effect is.
So before we break down this trailer, like you've it's AOL, isn't it? It just reminds me of AOL. But back in I think it was 99 that the Matrix came out. I think it was 99, maybe 98. But it was definitely pre-2000, wasn't it?
It was enough to make people afraid of Y2K.
But that's what I mean. All of the stuff that it kind of revolved around was very futuristic and very kind of like this digital world and this kind of, the future and whatnot. But a lot of that, like, is that as scary now in sort of 2021, 2022?
Well, yeah, because the concept is still there. That we gave birth to AI in the 21st century that then realized that we're the bad guys, we're scorching this, we're doing all this bad shit, turn us into their own energy source and get rid of us and shove us in a simulated system where we can't.
But then why?
We can do what we want in there because we're not damaging anything.
It's like a smarter Terminator.
Yeah. I mean, I know the concept's still there, but I don't know. For me personally, it just seemed like everything was so futuristic in the Matrix, whereas now it all seems a little bit not futuristic, not futuristic, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit.
It's dystopian.
Yeah. So what did you make of the trailer?
It's going to have a lot more commentary, I think, on things like social media and stuff like that, because obviously that didn't really exist.
No, it didn't exist.
We've got this whole we actually live our entire lives on the internet, whereas obviously it used to be a tool back when we were, like you said, in the 90s, like late 90s and early 2000s. It was a tool, with something we used. Now people, like we're doing right now, live their entire lives. I mean, we're having a online chat right now.
But I think that's the point I was trying to make, is that in '99 the idea of kind of living your life on the internet was very foreign. You use the internet to look up funny videos and like how to spell your name in a different language and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It was very primitive. But nowadays, but nowadays, obviously, people do live. We work through the internet, we socialize through the internet, we meet potential lovers through the internet. Like it's mad.
And I think that's where, if you saw the new trailer, I think that's where they were going, because they made a big point in that elevator scene of Neo being the only one not looking at his phone.
Yeah,
and everyone else,
Yeah.
everyone else is just like on a computer device. Like, how can you look around and realize you're in a computer system when you're inside another virtual system within a system? You know what I mean?
That's very true.
It's like they're too busy in their phones to realize they're in a simulation.
Do you think there's going to be like a message? Do you think there's going to be a
Definitely. It's
get off your phone, live life, and all that kind of stuff? But what I don't understand, like, I suppose I don't understand. Yeah, what I don't understand, I've not looked into it, to be perfectly honest with you. But obviously, the Matrix trilogy ended with him kind of like, becoming the one and all the rest of it. So how are we now at this point where he was put back in the Matrix,
wasn't he? He was put back in. At the end of the final one, the machines carry him away, don't they? His body's still there and it's plugged in. So I'm guessing.
Agreement,
I'm guessing the fact that he's now back in the system, and from looking at the trailer, he still, the Matrix still shows him to himself as himself, because that's his own personal image. Is like his percepted image, but when he looked in the mirror, it was a different face.
Like an older man, wasn't it?
Like an older man. So I'm guessing they've put him into another body that other people won't recognize. That's why Morpheus looks different. That's why Trinity. And Trinity is going to have the moment where she looks in the mirror as well. But I also think it's because the Matrix has been reset, and basically it's a different version of Morpheus this time. It's not the same one. It's a different variant almost of Morpheus.
No,
the many worlds theory and all that. Yeah.
I also have a theory about Trinity. I think Trinity isn't actually a real person. I think Trinity's created by them. I think Trinity's going to be a program, because she died in the real world in the last film. I know she had 1,000 cables through, and they could make the argument that we cloned her or something, I don't know, but or we downloaded her or something, I don't know. But I actually do think that she's going to be a program created,
the woman in the red dress kind of thing.
Yeah, but maybe created by Neo, because of his connection to it, and as he starts to get more of his memory back, so maybe he makes her the way that, like you said about, he sees himself how it is. Maybe he sees her over someone else.
Yeah, definitely. That could be good. That's a good shout.
Could be good.
I love Keanu Reeves, though. I think he's great. And go on. I was going to say, I'm just going on about how much I love Keanu Reeves. So say something more significant.
The main thing that I noticed in the trailer, I'm not sure if you picked up on it, they made a very big point about the Alice in Wonderland, Follow the White Rabbit, and the two pills, the red and the blue. And there was Morpheus who had all the red shirt going on and stuff like that, and he was obviously giving Neo the red pill. Then there was the girl who had the blue hair and the blue jacket, who seemed to be helping him. But I've got a feeling she's like the new version of almost like an agent, and she's pretending to be on his side, but trying to get him deeper in rather than getting him out. I think she's going to be the double.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see like a third faction, maybe even.
Yeah. They're going to do something mind blowing with it. Let's be honest. It's not just going to be a throwaway, next in line of the film. It's going to be something amazing. I think that's a safe bet. Whatever it is people are going to be blown away by it.
Just had this image of little miniature things running around and going, what are they? They're cookies or something like that. Cookies enabled. Oh no!
As cool as it does look very cool. I love some of the nods back to the original and things. I just hope they don't do what Force Awakens did and try to go too heavy on the nostalgia and end up making a remake of an old film with a new story. Because basically Force Awakens is New Hope, isn't it? So I hope that this Matrix isn't just a retelling of Matrix 1 with new meaning.
No, I think that I'm hoping they'll stay away from that, just because of the changes in time, because of the differences. But I hope it's not just a reimagining. But I think whatever it is, it's going to be mind blowing, and I think it's
even smartphones actually.
Yeah,
I just realised. Sorry, that was a total random self-nebulous thought I said out loud. But no, I just about smartphones. There was no smartphones back then.
No, not even everyone had a mobile back then. Let's be honest.
What would you do if you were sat in the cinema and then we're halfway through the film and all of a sudden you hear that familiar voice of Mr. Anderson? They managed to get Hugo Weaving to reprise. Yeah, that's what I mean. If they managed to keep that secret and had Hugo Weaving in there, I would literally lose my mind.
That would be very cool. I think there'll be quite a few nods to characters and whatnot. Yeah, cool. What was the release date for it? Can't even remember.
This Christmas?
It is Christmas, isn't it? It's gonna coincide with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, they've kind of kept it. I didn't realize it was that soon. They've kind of kept it quiet.
Yeah.
Hollywood's been really quiet about that one.
Yeah.
I guess because everything else has been advertised to death because of COVID and delayed, they were like, let's just do like, pow!
Yeah. Here's the Matrix. Yeah.
Here's a slap in the face full of Matrix right there.
Just to end the thought on it, it must have worked because obviously it's trending on Netflix right now. All 3 films are back online and they're all trending in the top 10.
Oh, there we go.
People are binge watching The Matrix right now.
Yeah, no, that's what I think I'll do tonight.
Probably a bunch of youngsters that have
Animatrix.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I'll reference my son again. But I showed him the trailer, and he was like, "Oh, that's amazing! That's incredible!" I was like, "Right, there are 3 films and an animated special that I need to introduce you to."
There is some very gory bits in that animated one. There's there's that the anime episode in particular, if I remember correctly. There's some pulling off of shoulders.
Oh, I know. I think we'll stick to the films first and then see how we get on with those.
Keep it PG.
But it's just I'm just looking forward to a whole new generation of people trying to run up walls. That's what that's what everyone tried to do, and everyone of a certain age does the it's like do the Matrix. Like everyone does it, so I'm looking forward to a new generation of that.
I haven't got the knees for it anymore.
No, it puts my back out. Cool. All right, let's go on to toys. Let's talk toys. We'll start in Marvel Legends, and then we'll go on to the old Star Wars Black Series. So we only had one reveal for Marvel Legends this week. There was literally just one, and it was revealed by Josh J Hernandez over on his YouTube channel. And it was, of course, the symbiote black suited Spider-Man on the new retro Spider-Man body. And it looks sleek. I'm not going to lie. I am really excited for this one. We all knew it was coming. Let's be honest. Everyone knew that it was coming. Once we saw that new Spider-Man mold, there was loads of talk about, what costumes we're going to see on it, etc. But just looking at it and comparing it to the old,
so it looks so much better than the original one.
Yeah, well, the old one was based on what they call the pizza body mold, because he came with a sliced pizza. But it's just very thin, it's very gangly, and it's a nice Spider-Man. But I replaced it as my main Spider-Man when they released the new retro one. And when you see those two like next to each other, there's a definite improvement. But yeah, not really a huge amount we can say about it. It just looks really cool. Nice. One thing I will say is that he comes with all the hands. One of the biggest things with the Spider-Man figures is that there's the kind of wall crawling hands, the thwip hands, and then the fist hands. And they never seem to do all of them with all of the Spider-Man. You either get sort of the thwip and the fist, or the wall crawling and the thwip, whereas this black suit does come with all of them. So yeah,
never heard
so I'm really excited
out loud so much.
Thwip. That is the pronunciation.
I love it.
Yeah. So that was that. And now obviously there's got him.
I say now they've updated obviously the book and stuff. They're going to use that time and time again now. Symbiote Spidey, they'll look about there. There'll be so many variants coming out now.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done more, because they've had some others come out, haven't they? They've had some other the Webman, the blue and red, the reversed one. Is that on the new retro body, or is that on the old I think it's on the new body as well.
Is it?
I can't remember.
I always thought that was the old one personally, because they had like a crossover period where only certain ones, and they seemed to come out after that still had the old body.
Yeah, it was. I'm surprised they didn't. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just completely commit to that and go that way. But yeah, it probably is on the old body. In my head, I see everything on that new mold now. But
it's like when they gave us the new Wolverine and he had them nice big thick claws, and then you open up the 5-pack box set that's brand spanking new, and it's the old style Wolverine with the thin claws. That's annoying.
The old flimsy ones.
The old flimsy ones that pop out every 10 seconds.
Once one of them goes under a cabinet, that's it. You've lost it. But yeah, no, I thought it was cool. It kind of came out of nowhere. There wasn't any hints or any spoilers or anything leaks anywhere.
No.
So
I'm very wondering what this Monday has got in store for us, because I just I'm sat thinking, like, what could they possibly release that they're not going to want to tell us in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time when it's the con?
Yeah,
what could they want to tell us about now prior to the big event?
well,
I kinda wonder
Galactus
if
is
they're
obviously
Go
go on. No, I was going to say
Go on.
Galactus is done. That was what they were, they're underpinning all of their. They had a lot. They've had a lot over the last couple of weeks. And every single one of them was underpinned by the back Galactus. Understandably, it's marketing. But obviously that's done now. So there's nothing there. This literally is a case of this is what we've got. Go get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm scratching my head. I don't know.
There's been no films other than Shang. All I can think of is Shang-Chi is now out. We've had the Marvel Legends Zombies episode now, so we're halfway through the season, and some of the good episodes have been and gone now, so they can talk about them. That's the only things that have come out, really. Nothing else has really been out, has it?
No,
I'm going to predict
but even when
a Marvel zombie set ready for October.
If they did that and pulled a surprise out and said you can order this and it will arrive for Halloween, that would be amazing.
That's my guess.
I mean, in regards to the What If TV show, obviously we've seen the Disney Plus Wave 2, which was the What If characters, and most of the figures that are in that wave, we've seen the episodes now, with Marvel Zombies being the last one. Obviously it had T'Challa Star-Lord, it had Nebula, it had Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, the Watcher, obviously. So we've not and Captain Carter. So essentially all the episodes we've seen are what's in that wave. So it could potentially be a wave 2. That could be out there. And it would be an easy way for them to throw in a couple of other Disney Plus show characters as well, like maybe Agatha Harkness or someone else like that. The only other thing as well that potentially there could be a bit of a hint towards is we've obviously got the Venom film coming out, and I know that's not technically MCU, but we did get a Venom figure, didn't we, in Marvel Legends, in a Marvel Legends wave, and there's been no sniff whatsoever towards any figures for that film, which I think would be a massive missed opportunity, because an MCU or a movie version of Carnage and an updated Venom would be pretty cool.
Yeah, you've got to watch, because like Ryan Ting puts things out and then deletes them off his Instagram or off his Twitter and Instagram. Yeah. So I always watch, because he always puts little things up. Like last time he put about the amazing armadillos, just like minutes before they went live, and then it obviously was the armadillo build figure. So he does tend to give the game away a little bit sometimes. But like all he's been putting online is what if. Like tonight he's put up, what if Hank Pym stopped ruining other people's universes?
Yeah. Again, another guy who's kind of a dick in this one.
But there's a few options, or it will be something completely left field that we've not even seen, and it will just be like, oh, here's a new Riders figure. Like here's a new.
It's got to be something.
Riders.
It's got to be something worthy of a full stream. It can't just be one figure and done. It's got to be something worthy of a live stream.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got to be covering something off, and it made. I know I said it on a previous episode before. I'm still holding out hope for the for like a WandaVision wave or a wave 2 of Disney Plus. So maybe they could do a Disney Plus wave with a couple of zombies in it. Give us the Halloween versions of Wanda and Vision as well, because people would go for that. And then maybe Agatha Harkness as either the Bath or another figure in the wave. They could do a wave like that and just call it the Disney Plus wave.
Yeah, that would work.
Obviously, another potential option that I spoke before about is that with the 10 years line, we got the official 10 years line, and then we got some extra ones afterwards. Well, the majority of the Infinity Saga line have landed on people's doorsteps now. I've got the majority of mine, waiting on a couple of the last ones. So it could potentially be a couple of additional figures for that line. And what's interesting as well, I mean, I don't know if you guys have got any of them, but the 10 years line, each of the side of each of the boxes kind of made up a big mural. So you put all the boxes together and it made up a big picture to celebrate the 10 years of Marvel and Marvel Studios. And on the side of the Infinity Saga boxes, hang on, I'll just grab one. Just grab one. So on the side of the Infinity Saga boxes, you've got this nice little mural there. Now I thought that all of the boxes were going to line up and make some kind of, but they don't. They've all got this on the side. So they're all exactly the same on the side, which is really disappointing. But with that said, it's easy for them to slip a couple of extra ones into that Infinity Saga line without, there's not a design element that's going to be kind of conflicting. It could literally just be put in that box and there you go. So I think we're going to see a few Infinity Saga figures come out over time that are just, this is part of the Infinity Saga wave as well. Here's an extra one. But I have no idea.
David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury. That's what we're finally getting. The
Mate,
figure that everyone wanted.
People would still buy that. That's the thing.
100%. People will literally buy anything. We are at the age where you could do, what is it? This is the Marvel Foot Collection, and it's just the shoes of every superhero, and people will buy it.
Mate.
I want 10% Hasbro. I want 10%.
I'm gonna say one thing is I'm gonna make one prediction. I want a Wong figure. Everybody talks about a Wong, but in 2022, I think it is, so maybe next year, Wong would have featured more as himself in the MCU films than all of the X-Men characters in their films, bar Patrick Stewart and whatnot, and would have featured in more MCU films than a lot of the other characters that we've already had toys for. And we've had X-Men's, we've had all Yellow Jackets and whatnot. So I think that with Shang-Chi coming out and him obviously being like kind of the surprise, not so surprise cameo, can you imagine like a Wong Abomination 2-pack or something like that? That would be
awesome.
Pretty cool. Or even just I don't know, just a Wong, a standalone Wong that's going to be part of a wave.
Get ready. Have Wong-a-nation.
Oh. Oh. Ryan.
Ryan was never invited again, but yeah, I think it's what lasted.
Ryan was cancelled the next day.
Yeah. But that's my prediction. If they release a Wong, I'll be very happy. Very happy. And I think now's the right time to drop it on people. But there we go. So but yeah, I think that's all for the Marvel Legends. There wasn't a huge amount more. Obviously, Black Suit Spider-Man and the predictions, which always takes us on nicely to all the Black Series repaints. I mean reveals.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a massive repaints. Oh,
for once, definitely Vintage Collection won over Black Series massively this time.
The saving grace for Black Series this time around was the fact that we're getting that Princess Leia from Yavin 4, the ceremony Leia from the end of the film. And it looks beautiful. The face sculpt on that is amazing. And
I like they're doing a Power of the Force card as well.
Yes, and she's a European exclusive. The Americans aren't getting her until November.
Wow.
So we're getting her first. That was literally for me the only saving grace of the entire Black Series announcements. Everything else.
What was with the what was the Mandalorian? Because I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch it. I did not watch the live stream.
So imagine we got your favorite figure, but now with mud.
Yeah,
so much mud.
Everyone's calling him the Pooh Mandalorian because he looks like he's covered in turd. But
I saw that. Yeah,
it's from the episode where he fights that big rhino thing. I can never remember the name of it. People always shout
Mudhorn.
The name. Yeah,
Mudhorn.
So he fights that, and now you get you get the same Sky Cot that you've had 4 times now, and you also get Baby Yoda now doing this because last time you couldn't raise his arm high enough, and apparently we needed a new face of him just shutting his eyes. So we've now got that. We've basically got the same Mandalorian we got when it first came out. It's the first release figure again, now painted slightly more brown.
Oh, don't forget the pram as well. They were like, this is the first time we've had this pram mold on this figure exclusively. But I'm so excited. It's a pram.
Wow.
Yeah, the Sky Pram. I love that Sky Pram. So yeah, they've given us that, which the credit collection again. They are repaints, aren't they? It is a fancy way of saying repaints.
Get this carbonized thing as well. Like the thing is, it works for some figures and doesn't for some. Like the troopers they did, the Death Trooper, it worked because especially if you were going for the brand new sort of Rogue One look, where they are shiny and reflective. But the Remnant Trooper, like I got some really cheap in a deal, and I'm going to get rid of them. But it's weird because something that's meant to look beat up is it's like pearlescent. It's a really odd.
It don't look right. It's like the Shaw Trooper should not be shiny at all.
No.
Like for certain characters, it works. Like for Moff Gideon, his armor was very black and reflective and shiny and nice and glossy, so kind of works for him. But they've even made his face sculpt shiny, which just makes it weird.
That is a bit odd. I got the.
I mean, I don't know if you can see how reflective and pearly that is.
Yeah, it's unnecessarily pearly effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a dirty character.
I got a 6-inch the Boba Fett carbonized, just because I thought it looked really cool. There was something really cool about the metallic look.
Boba Fett, it worked, and I think it worked when they did it for the second sister she called. It worked for her too because her arm was very shiny, and it worked on that armor. I actually preferred that version rather than the original version. I actually got rid of my original box version of the character because I liked the carbonized one so much. But I wish they'd have maybe stuck with doing droids in that range because it would have made sense to have shiny droids.
Yeah.
If they'd have made C-3PO, R2-D2 and made them all the shiny, like nice, fancy factory-free, original versions where they're all shiny and nice, that would have looked cool in that line. But not.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
End of A New Hope style would have been awesome.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't done a C-3PO in the carbonized, have they?
Nope.
That's like a no-brainer, surely.
They have got such a weird thing about doing like vac metaling or any kind of actual really shiny thing now. I don't know what's going on with Hasbro at the moment, but they got a weird thing against shiny figures. Like with the retro collection, they didn't do R2-D2 and C-3PO, and they said about it being like environmentally they can't do vac metaling. But then small companies, I mean, like Stan Solo have done a gold Death Star droid vintage, and he's done that. He's a small company, and you got like the Silverhawks being remade with proper chrome styling on it. I've got a liquid chrome pen that I can draw on things and do chrome, so I don't see why Hasbro are saying they can't do those colors. So this is not that I'm angry about it or anything, but it's fine.
Well, when I was collecting Black Series, because I did, as stated last week, I did decide to get out of the game. But C-3PO and R2-D2 were two that I was chasing after, because obviously in the Black Series they're quite hard to come by, depending on what version you want. And I opted to go for the Bandai kits because C-3PO was metallic as opposed to like a pretend gold plastic. So I'm really shocked that they haven't done it in the carbonized.
Yeah, that was the saving grace when Disney used to do the Elite series figures. That was the saving grace of that line when they started putting out loads of droids, but then they made them the wrong scale. If they had made those droids, big, weren't they? Yeah, they were 7-inch. So if they'd have made those droids in 6-inch style to match your Black Series, that line would have done so much better.
Ryan,
they've released some great droids.
Yeah, I know. I keep saying 8-inch. It's because, to be fair, Hasbro can't make up their mind because next thing it's like, oh, what's this? It's Action Fleet. No, it's not. It's Mission Fleet. Oh, what's Mission Fleet? Oh, that's 2.5 inches. Why? Why do we need that as well? I'll be honest. I'm still not. I don't collect like the Black Series, like the 6-inch. I just can't convert to another. I've been doing like this for like 25 years in 3.75. I'm sticking with it.
You're committed. You're committed.
Yeah, but I've got friends who've got like huge collections, and I like that because then it's like I can go and look at them without having to own them. So like I'm just gonna watch Ash's videos and stuff and be like, I can pretend I own that and just look at that and go, look at that.
So sorry, Sorrel, I totally messed up your flow there, buddy.
Sorry.
No, so we're just
carbonized.
We had the carbonized ones, but the credit collection, as it's known, the Mandalorian ones that come with the little fancy chocolate bar piece.
I think I've said this before. I've got to just put out this. I think I've said this before, but I honestly thought it was the credit collection because it came with credits. Like that's what I thought it was. And then it was only when I was watching The Mandalorian, I was like, oh, the credits of the show and the way the artwork's done. That's what my figures look like. So, and that's a really stylized look. I think it's a really nice idea, but they should have released them all close together so that you could. Because I probably would have gone out and gone, you know what, I'm going to buy that as a. I want that look, but I'm not invested enough to kind of wait. So sorry. What did they put out in the credit collection this time?
So in the credit collection, we've got obviously the Mandalorian again. He's now got a fancy blue stripe. Then we've got a blue Moff Gideon, a blue Grief Karga. And then we've got the Armorer, which actually, to be fair, I'm going to get the Armorer just because it's all completely different colors. She's all like red and orange this time around. So if you stood her next to your original one in a diorama, if you put the right lighting on that to make it look like a dark, dingy armory, having two of them there wouldn't look out of place, and it wouldn't look like the same character if you posed it right. So I'm getting her just as a secondary character for photo shoots more than anything. Same with all the Mandalorians. I tend to pick them all up just because you don't really get many Mandalorian characters in released other than Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I found with minimal customizing, you can turn the Mandalorian figure into any old Mandalorian, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I tend to do that as well. But yeah, then we've got the Grief Karga. Not too fussed about that. And then the guy that I can never pronounce his name. Kuil. That weird little guy. Kuil.
Just sounds like in the 90s, isn't it? Kuil.
So, I mean,
Is he the little one that rides on the thing? Yeah.
I have spoken.
That's it. Yeah. I liked him.
On a blog.
I liked him. I related.
I can never pronounce his name. And I say it in every video I do because I always get his finger and go, look what I've got. Kuil.
Just call him Kevin.
Yeah. I think last time I did the review, I ended up calling him It for 90% of the video. It's a really cool figure. I really like this one.
Like when you pick a guy's name that you've met, like, oh, mate, how's it going? Anything but his name.
So, yeah, a load of repaints there. Then they gave us the Jet Trooper from the Gaming Great series.
Yeah.
Do we need another Jet Trooper? We've had the Jump Trooper, we've had the Rocket Trooper, we've had the... Do we really need the Jet Trooper, in all fairness? I love Hasbro, but come on, give us something different. It's like they've run out of ideas now. So the saving grace of the entire thing was very much 3 3/4 inch. And as I said at the beginning, before we started recording, I'm slowly getting back into 3 3/4 inch heavily because they're putting out better things. More exciting products, and they're starting to do play sets and scenes that I can use for action figure photography and things like that. So I'm more into that line now. And as I've said on one of my videos recently, 3 3/4 inch is where it started and where collecting started for me as a kid. Because everything used to be 3 3/4 inch, not 6 inch. They all tried to copy the original Star Wars style. So every Kenner figure I had as a child was this big. So Jurassic Park and everything, they're all the same size. So I'm getting back into that, and they've put some good figures out. A good one for army builders. We've got the 4-pack coming out, the 4-pack troopers.
This is something they've needed to do for a long time.
Yes.
I got really excited when I did see the picture of that because I thought they were a 6 inch, and I was like, funny because we've spoken about it last week about army builders and how they needed to do it, and I saw the image and I was like, no way have they done that. And then I saw it as the 3 3/4 inch. But
my friend Dave actually messaged me and said,
oh, they've announced this with a cardboard box. They've just copied you. And the next thing they said was, we're just doing it in a scaled back box. And I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we got the confirmation because obviously they were saying this was going to come out in spring, and then I got a follow up email when this came out from Litsky PR who said this is coming out. It's going to be available in spring, but you can pre-order it now on Hasbro Pulse and on Disney Store. It's going to be a Disney exclusive as well. There's this joint exclusive with Disney.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not too bad either. I've only got the price in dollars. I don't have the British price here, but it's $41.99. Which I didn't think was a bad price point.
It's probably about 30 odd quid to 38.
So
yeah, which would mean it'll probably be about 50, 55 then. That's the way that it works, doesn't it?
I think
but
it's
even
a shame
still,
that
at
they're
50
making
quid,
it exclusive because I think this is something they should put in, like, this should be in Smiths.
It probably will end up Smiths.
Smiths.
Smiths are up in their game recently. I can see that being in Smiths and selling now.
Your one's really good. The one in Chelmsford is really lacking in a lot of things.
Really?
It's a bit of a shame. Like I saw on your video when you went toy hunting, I was like, oh, that made me feel like when I was a kid watching Toys R Us adverts, because then when you go in R Smiths and it's like R Smiths looks like they're on a budget and they can only afford to put a few of each toy on. And even still, it's just like they're like, you know, they hide the really good stuff out back. Like there's a toy hoarder in the warehouse just refusing to put it on shelves, just going like, no. But,
that's one thing I will say about Smiths, though, just bringing it back to Marvel Legends just really, really quickly, was the Infinity Saga, Infinity War Captain America, because that was a Hasbro exclusive, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like none of the retailers could get it. It was literally just through Hasbro Pulse. And Smiths had it on the shelf. So they had it on the shelf before a lot of the retailers who got it on import stock and stuff like that, and before Hasbro Pulse as well. And they had it on the shelf. So there was people literally going out and picking it up from Smiths before people who had ordered it through Hasbro were getting it.
Yeah, my Smiths have now got in the latest Marvel Legends wave. They've got that. Is it Ursaring? Teddy bear wave. Yeah.
The big angry teddy bear wave.
Big angry teddy bear wave. They've got that in stock now at my Smiths, readily available. So I mean, Comics and Cocktails haven't delivered mine yet.
Really?
And my Smiths have got it in stock. So
Comics and Cocktails, I haven't used them yet.
They're good. I like Comics and Cocktails. I always give them shout outs in my videos. I've never had an issue with them. I think they're great.
No,
but
massive.
It's not their fault. It's Hasbro, isn't it? It's Hasbro's distribution. It's how they distribute. But things are getting slower at the moment. I think it's because obviously we're in a pandemic. As much as we always sit there and go, "I want my toys now," you got to remember the world's kind of crumbling around us.
and there is a massive backlog. There's a massive backlog from things that were because of the pandemic and everything. It's where everything's, you got to think of it like a conveyor belt, that things are being produced, they're coming out, they're getting to the retailers, they're getting to us. And then the pandemic basically just kind of put one of them barriers down and everything just kind of built up behind it. So we are catching up. But like you say, Sorrel, like people have got to put things in perspective. They've got to put things in perspective. So, but yeah, sorry, carry on with Star Wars stuff.
So then we've got the 3¾ inch Lando Calrissian Empire Strikes Back version with a nice fancy cloth cape, looking very swish.
The cape collection is coming soon. I can feel
it. Then obviously we've got IG-11. Yeah, I get worried about IG-11 figures, especially when they're in 6-inch or 3, because it just looks like it's going to snap. I'm always worried about that figure. The one that everyone were really excited about, but I think I was the only one that had a negative thought about this one, was the Emperor. Is that really the figure we're getting with the throne? Is that the one we're getting?
Wasn't that?
I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was for the throne. I don't know. I kind of wanted maybe a couple of different heads, maybe with the throne as well.
Yeah, I think we might do, but I'm just overall for me, that cloth is just too much. It's too flouncy and too big. It looks ridiculous. It looks like he's wearing an overgrown. Yeah, it looks like he's wearing an overgrown jumpsuit. It looks ridiculous.
It looks a bit like the Robot Chicken Emperor.
Yes, it does.
That's where it reminds me of. It's the Robot Chicken Emperor.
Every time I do a video and I use the Emperor's voice, that is the voice I do. It's never the one from the film. It's always Robot Chicken Emperor. Hey you. So it's that deep, weird little voice. But yeah, they've got that figure coming, and I'm just not. I don't know. I still think the one that they've released, 3¾ inch from the Last Jedi line, as a 5 POA figure, I think is better than that. The face sculpt on this one doesn't look that cracking.
No, because isn't the face sculpt different from the one that comes with the throne room set?
Hopefully. I really hope so. I don't want my Emperor sat on a throne going,
Yeah,
like he's trying to look really odd.
Like he's sat. It's just sat on the toilet, Emperor. That's all it is.
That's what it looks like. It's the flouncy cape Emperor that's having a poo.
Oh, Darth, the power of the dark side's really not with me today. It's horrible.
But the figure in the 3¾ inch that literally, when it got announced, I'm a sucker for Ewoks. So I mean, as soon as they said Tebow's coming, I was like, yeah. You get to add him to my little village. I get to add him to that, so I'm happy. Get another little vintage collection Ewok. So Tebow,
always room for an Ewok.
Oh yeah, always room for an Ewok. I can build the village up now. I've actually ordered 2.
It takes a village.
Well, I've decided that if it's going to be like the 6-inch one, which I think it will be, that headpiece is removable.
Oh, that's variation.
The one on the black, the big 6-inch Black Series one that I've got, the whole headpiece is just removable. It's just a bit of glue on top. You just pull it off, and it's shine. You just get rid of the glue mark.
They should just look at the original collection. The original Kenner line. All their stuff was removable. Yeah, easy to do. Extra Ewoks there.
That's what I mean. So I can easily customizing a fancy little brown cape or something instead. You know what I mean? Just to fill out the numbers in the village.
You'll have a lot of extra material from the Emperor figure, so use some of that.
Exactly. Then the next one they announced was everybody's favorite DJ, Lobot. Never understood that figure personally.
I've come to think of him as like the reverse Geordie LaForge, because he's both white and the things on his back of his head. Whereas Geordie LaForge is black and he's got the visor on the front of his head. So
Yes,
That's the opposite of Star Trek and Star Wars right there.
that is it.
Star Wars fans, I love Star Wars and I love the community, but they have a fascination for background characters.
Wilro Hood.
And Lobot is just like, why? Why do we need that? Why is that a thing? He's the dude that just stood there and operated a machine. Do I really need a figure of him? Where am I going to use that?
If you were recreating that Robot Chicken dancing episode.
Yeah.
That one specific.
You'll use him at the back operating a machine. That's
it. If I bought that figure, I would be looking for some 3D customizer to help me make a DJ Dex, because that is where he's going to stand.
Yeah, that would be quite funny actually.
The other one, the last couple that they announced, we had Bib Fortuna. Finally, happy about that. They're saying this is the version from Return of the Jedi, which I thought it actually looked like what we saw from the end of Mandalorian. I thought it looked like the older version, to be fair.
A bit chunkier as well.
It was a little bit on the chunky side, I think. I wonder if they've made it so it fits in both series. You could have it with either. But yeah, we're finally getting Bib Fortuna, and they seem to be going down the Return of the Jedi line with all these, I've noticed. So we hopefully maybe see a 3 3/4-inch version of Jabba the Hutt coming soon with the Slave Leia, because she's not been around for a long time.
Involuntary employee Leia now, sorry.
You can't go a Slave Leia anymore. Disney run away from the idea of the name.
Yeah. Captured Leia, I think.
Captured Leia, we'll call her Captured Leia.
Yeah. Haven't we also got an actual Mando light figure, haven't we, coming? Did I see that right? Wasn't there a Mando figure coming? Like, not as in from the TV show Mando, but one of the Mandalorian Death Watch guys coming.
I don't know. I've not got that on my. I'm going off the Hasbro sheet that I get. It's called the One Sheet, and they give you all the info of all the figure releases. And all I've got after that was basically we get in some carbonized figures, which we kind of spoke about earlier, which includes the Armorer. We get in Moff Gideon. We get in the Incinerator Trooper. Maybe that's what you're thinking of, the Incinerator Trooper, but he's going to be in that horrible shiny look. And Shore Trooper. Those were what got announced. I actually didn't see the live stream. I wasn't very well that day. I was actually in bed, so I didn't see the live stream.
I watched it myself. I actually did watch it for once, and there was a. I'm going to kick myself because my friend Dave's going to be watching this, and he's going to go. We literally spoke about this, and it was it's like a Mando warrior.
Wasn't the was it not the pipeline reveals? Because they do like pipeline reveals as well, don't they? With things that
might have been
things that are going to come, at some point.
You weren't referring to the multicolored prototype, horrible looking thing, were you? With 3 variants.
Oh no, not
that. Bad. That looks horrible.
And then of course,
now I saw a guy on eBay painting old Star Wars figures, like Ewok stuff in multicolourful like limbs, like the proto things. They sold for like 30 odd quid each. I was just like, I'm going to look up all my beaters now and go like, do you know what? I was going to use you with customs, but I think I'm just going to make some money. Paint your primary colours. Done.
Yeah, do it. There was one other thing as well that they revealed that you've not even mentioned yet. The
lightsaber.
There's the lightsaber. It's the fleshlight lightsaber.
Did you not find the funniest bit about that when he was like when he was like, "Oh look, my cloth is already fraying to add to the authenticity." Actually, if it's fraying already, that just says it hasn't been made very well, if anything.
Yeah. I just found it really. I think it's a beautiful looking lightsaber. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a really nice piece. But the picture, the promotional pictures where they kind of have it turned around, showing the back, that does look a little bit like a bumhole. And I'm just like, that's not the best angle. That really isn't the best angle. Like it's
the annoying thing for me is they're a bit like a year too late. Disney Galaxy's Edge have already had this lightsaber out for like a good year now.
Yeah,
their version's been out a long time, and it looks a lot nicer, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people do love the Force Effect ones, and it has. Admittedly, it does have one thing that the Galaxy's Edge one doesn't have, and that's the twist to ignite. But that's only good because obviously the annoying thing is you're gonna have to go then stick my hand in.
Yeah. But have you?
It's gonna look so stupid when you stand there and go, ignite my lightsaber. Hang on, get my tube, stick that in.
I must admit, I've got a lightsaber. Obviously, everyone has a lightsaber, but it's and mine's got the the Ray sound effects and the Ray light and everything like that. So obviously, yeah, the hilt doesn't look it, but it's got all the twist sound and the, so I'm happy with mine. I don't need to have that hilt. However, though, obviously a little while back now, they teased the new lightsaber, didn't they? Where it looks like it lights up properly, Oh, come on. Are we having a lightsaber off? Come on then. I don't know if mine's got any charge. Oh, look, mine's not charged. I've failed.
I can only morph. That's about all I can do in this situation right now.
Oh,
right.
I'm going to have to light mine up. Next week. We'll
I really want to see that in the next Star Wars film. I would fight you, but my lightsaber's not charged. I didn't plug it in. Let's do this next week.
I didn't get an official one because I'm a cheapskate, and because I didn't want to smash it at a Comic-Con when a child decides to try and have a lightsaber battle with me. So I bought one from AliExpress, and I quite like it, to be honest. And it can do everything that the Force Effects one can, and it only cost me 30 quid.
Can you send me a link to that?
It does the lightning thing and everything, and it can change the colors of it as well, so you can literally have any color lightsaber you want.
Mine,
I'm gonna
have to charge mine. Mine's from Padawan Outpost, so it's like a NeoPixel and everything, and the light goes up. It's all really smart. But I just went for like a standard hilt because I was like, you know what, I'm not bothered about if I'm gonna have a lightsaber on the wall or whatever. Then yeah, but I can't believe I didn't charge it. See, I play with it a lot, and that's why the battery's dead.
It's pipeline reveals, and I've got the list of the pipeline reveals for both Black Series and the Vintage Collection right here. So the Black Series pipeline reveals.
Yep.
We have got Dengar. This is called the Archive pipeline. So apparently they're doing stuff in the archive. Dengar. So we're getting Dengar again. I think he's the last of the bounty hunters to be reissued, I think. We're getting C-3PO. Funny enough, we were talking about him. So that'll be interesting to see how he comes out. Lando Skiffguard and Palpatine in brackets extra cape. So
yeah.
And then Vintage Collection, this is where I got it from. It's Yoda, 501st Clone Trooper, Mandalorian Death Watch Airborne Trooper, and Figurine Dan.
So it's archive line though, isn't it? It's not new figures.
The Black Series. Yeah. But the Vintage Collection, apparently they're all going to be all new ones. So apparently Yoda's getting a new mold, and they're also getting a Leia's lightsaber on the FX Elite pipeline reveal.
That's
so
what
Leia's
we need.
lightsaber from the last one. Fucking hell, I can't remember it now. I've got it in my head. I like Star Wars.
Rise of Skywalker.
Thank you. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that.
So I'm still waiting for them to release some form of 2-set 6-inch figures where they give us the Leia and Luke from Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
where there was that whole training montage in Endor and stuff. I think it's Endor. Looks like Endor. That whole training montage. If they made some figures based on that, they would sell like hotcakes with Leia and a lightsaber and stuff.
It's the kind of thing that everyone would want, but they'd only sell as an exclusive, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but saying that, look at the what was the exclusive with Han and Leia that they had, and then they were selling them off in game for like 15 quid.
Yeah,
it was the Ice Corridor one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember seeing them at the Comic Cons and that, and they were, pretty high priced, and people were picking them up like they were going out of fashion. And now you can pick them up at, I think it's game for like 15 quid or something like that. So it's really hit and miss with the exclusive. It is really hit and miss with the exclusives, isn't it? Because sometimes they'll go crazy, and then other times they'll end up in the clearance. So yeah. Was that all of it though? Was that all of the Black Series stuff?
That was everything.
That's everything. Even on pipeline, that was all the pipeline. Just archive stuff. Nothing actually new on pipeline for the Black Series. Yeah, that's it. It's all right.
So then there was other toy news. Go on, Ryan. I know you're desperate to talk about your favourites. Other toy news. Transformers.
Huh?
You don't want to talk about Transformers?
What about them? I'm just joking. Yeah,
I was like,
I thought you'd genuinely forgotten them.
I was like,
just
some free acting there for you, darling. Don't worry. This is
a big moment.
Well, I'm a big fan of the crossover Transformer line. it's one of those things. You know, when people used to do fan art online of like all like the 80s vehicles, obviously, you know, and everyone wanted to see them as Transformers. Obviously, we've had Ghostbusters. We've had 2 different Ectons. Now different molds, you know, different head sculpts, one for the Afterlife and one with the original release. We've had obviously the DeLorean, which is awesome. And then we've had Top Gun, which no one talks about because it's average. The X-Men one, which was cool but way overpriced. And then now they've crossed over with Universal Monsters. Ta-da! It actually, it's like, I think it's a remold of Mindwipe. They did a Headmaster Mindwipe a few sort of seasons ago when they were doing Headmasters. They were sort of bringing them back on. I think it was the Power of the Primes line where they became Headmasters. And I think it's a remold based on that because he was a bat, Mindwipe. And I think looking at the figure, I think it might be a remold that was just maybe some retooling and obviously some extra accessories. And even the box looks really cool. But I mean, Transformers mixing with Universal Monsters. Come on.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a huge market there. Like, there's so many versions they could do. Like the Invisible Man, that's going to be an amazing figure.
Empty box, yeah.
An empty box. But no, but seriously, I mean, I saw it and I was kind of like, okay. But then I'm not a Transformer collector, so I was like, I didn't get excited about it, but I can see the appeal like massively. Yeah, it's an interesting route.
Different, I think that's the thing. Like I absolutely love Transformers. I don't really collect a lot of them anymore. I've got the big city bots, and I've got like I'm very sort of like focused on what I get. But I just something about crossovers. I don't know why. It's taking. I guess it's that thing we were talking about earlier about like you know, adding zombies to anything. Transformers, you suddenly add a crossover to it. Like the Jurassic Park one that's coming up looks awesome. The 2-pack with like the T-Rex, with they've used like
that does look cool. I will admit that does look cool. That does look cool.
Because it's just like adding 2 things I love together. Really, it's combining like the vehicles. I always loved the vehicles of like things we used to watch when we were kids. You know, if they did some kind of RoboCop Transformer, I think I'd lose my mind. But you know, I always like those vehicles, and then mixing them with something else from my childhood Transformers. And a lot of them have been doing them in these sort of very G1 type boxes, obviously, you know, with the very G1-esque. But this one, like the new one that's coming out, the crossover Universal Monster, which is going to be released really quickly as well. They sort of announced it, showed the reviews. I think it's coming out in the next few weeks. Like it's hardly any time at all. But even the packaging, and they sort of missed the trick by not doing it as a coffin. But they've kept that the crossover logo, which is sort of that branding they've done, where it's always a Transformer, so like logo one side and then the other franchise there. It seems to be like something they're really starting to invest in, because they've gone from doing just the one Ghostbusters when everyone going, oh, that's cool, and now they're like 5 on, and now we're not even just doing sort of pop culture vehicles. We're now moving into like Universal Monsters just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, that is cool.
And just to give you a quick rundown of the other toy news of the week, we got the crossover that nobody asked for: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Cobra Kai. Because you want those, don't you? Yeah.
What? Did I miss this? When was that?
When was that?
I want that.
You want that? No, come on. So this came out on the 7th. On the 7th, this was announced. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming out, and all nice, you know, with nice little geese and things like that on. And they come boxed with their adversary. So Michelangelo is fighting Daniel LaRusso. Leonardo is fighting Miguel Diaz. Donatello is fighting Johnny Lawrence. And Raphael is fighting John Kreese. So I can only assume that April O'Neil is going to be in a 3-pack with that girl character that everyone likes, and the other girls.
So it's literally crossing over with the Cobra Kai TV show.
Yes, but what I don't understand is, right, Miguel Diaz obviously is from the Cobra Kai TV series. The Daniel LaRusso is the kid version of Daniel LaRusso. Johnny Lawrence is the kid version of Daniel Lawrence. Sorry, of Johnny Lawrence, and then John Kreese is the Cobra Kai version, the old man version of John Kreese. It's a random concoction. I can only presume they're going to do 2 follow-up figures of Daniel LaRusso and Johnny as older characters. I love some more that. Like Shredder or something.
It's like Ninja Turtles beating up kids and an old man. That's basically
I must have been under a rock. I totally missed this. Completely missed. But then I don't collect Turtles anymore.
The one thing that I would think would probably, maybe if they're going to cross over the old and the new, maybe if they did a set that was Mr. Munagi versus Splinter. That would be epic.
Oh,
yeah, that would be
good,
cool.
Wouldn't it?
Give us a Mr. Munagi figure finally. They're announced.
Are they bleeding his turtles dry though? Because we've had Turtles and Power Rangers, we've now got Turtles and Cobra Kai, and
don't get excited either. It's by Playmates toys. It's not like it's coming multiple articulation or anything. It's going to be, Playmates.
Old school.
It's the same turtles you've had several times with new paints.
You know what? Actually, now you've said that, I think I have seen them.
If NECA would have announced this, it would have been more exciting.
Yeah. I think I do remember this now, and I think that's why it went in one ear and out the other, because I was kind of like, that could have been really cool, but never mind.
The next announcement, which got me a bit more excited than it probably should have done, was the fact that we're finally getting the Princess Bride action figures by Mcfarland, because I need Montoya. I need.
Yes, I saw those. They look incredible. It's just that setup, just the I can't even get my words out now, but that kind of entourage of I saw the promo shots. Yes, 100% down for that.
Inconceivable. Sorry.
I just need the Inigo Montoya one just so I can make 1,000,001 shots of "You killed my father, prepare to die" with many different characters.
It's just the greeting, isn't it? It's just amazing.
They're going to be re-released next year in 2-packs of Ninja Turtles, so you'll have a second opportunity to get them.
I'm just looking forward to doing the skit from Big Bang Theory using TikTok and just putting him with Darth Vader going, "I am Darth Vader. You are my father. Prepare to die."
Yeah, no, I'm up for that. I'm not gonna lie. I could have them in a nice little, and it's not a wave that's gonna get out of hand unless they do start crossing them over with Ninja Turtles and stuff. Like, you could literally buy them and that's it, and have that set up. Yeah, no, I'm up for that.
NECA have got you covered, just in case you missed any of the millions of Pennywise figures they've released beforehand.
They're not releasing another one, are they?
Just in case you didn't get all of the previous ones, you can now, because it was the same body every time with new faces and new accessories. So now you can buy this lovely big 10-pack. I'm not even lying, 10-pack. The NECA Many Faces of Pennywise collection will include over 10 faces, basically featuring all the accessories and all the hands, all the faces, everything they've released for Pennywise previously is coming in one big box.
Is it because they had so many left in the warehouse? They were like,
probably.
We've got to shift these. Yeah.
But you know what, though? That to me, I was kind of like, that's cool, but that just devalues all my It collection is now worth nothing, because no one's going to buy them when they can buy the big pack now. Surely,
like Garth Marenghi. This is. Anyone watch Garth Marenghi's Dark Place?
No.
Oh man, it's such a niche program. I will find someone who watched it. I've got other toy knows. They Master of the Universe had a good week at PowerCon.
Yeah, they did. Some good figures announced.
Yeah, Sunman's coming back.
Yeah. Yes, I saw that. Yes,
that looks pretty decent. Like, even Star-wise, it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I got the Pixel Dan book recently, the Masters of the Universe like toy catalog, effectively one. It's massive. It's absolutely huge. We've got to do a review on it soon, but I guess it's like 2019. I'm like, now I want a sequel because now there's loads of other stuff out.
Yeah, I did see that Sunman review actually.
Yeah, and the only other thing that I saw this week which caught my interest was the Bride of Chucky 2-pack. Obviously, we got the NECA ones previously. They're now redoing them again, but with the cloth versions as they do. So a little bit taller this time around.
See, crossovers are in my head there because I thought you said Bride of Chucky and 2-pack. I was like, what? What are they doing? Like Chucky and rappers throughout history or something? Or what is that? Then you're gonna have like a Notorious B.I.G. and like Bride of Chucky. Like, no.
Well, this is just
stop giving them ideas.
This is literally a straight cash in because obviously the Chucky TV series starts in like 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
And this is they said that this pack is arriving for Halloween. So it's a cash in TV series, really.
I watched the trailer after you mentioned it a few weeks back, and I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be quite cool. It's child's play, but
it looks fun.
It looks fun.
Have you seen the last 2 films though that went straight to DVD?
Which ones are they?
Cult of Chucky and the Asylum of Chucky.
No, I didn't see that one.
That last one.
Okay,
no.
So this TV series follows them two. So it's going to follow on from the 2 direct-to-TV, whatever you call it, movies or DVD movies. And the TV series will follow on from it. So you need to watch the last 2 films. Not a lot of people know those films exist.
Yeah.
People think
I know the
getting
Cult
ended.
one.
I
Asylum.
think they're
I
on
haven't
one
seen.
of the streaming services at the moment. Maybe it might be.
Probably
What's
Netflix.
it?
They seem to have loaded a lot recently.
I think it's on Stars Play. I think they've got like a few of the Chucky ones, and they've got quite a few of the Halloween sequels that no one wants to watch as well. I want to watch them because I like them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that for me, the new TV series looks decent. I can't wait for it. I just hope they don't ruin it. It's slightly going down that. It's getting weirder and weirder with all these direct TV films. They kind of try to take it back to its horror roots, but I don't know.
I did see the kind of the reboot one they did. I didn't see that. The one that Danny McBride had a hand in.
I want to see a film where the two Chuckies fight one another. I want Chucky versus Chucky as a film.
Yeah.
With Brad Dourif in it and Mark Hamill fighting each other would be hilarious.
I think he was on the list of potential crossovers at one point, because I was reading about, like, obviously Freddy versus Jason the other day. And because I saw was going to see Candyman, I sort of was looking up on it. And there was a Candyman versus Hellraiser proposal at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also maybe Leprechaun and Chucky might have been in the mix for a potential crossover, which would have been an interesting one.
That would have been cool. Who knows?
If you read the original graphic novels for Freddy vs. Jason, Hellraiser was in them.
Ooh, I didn't know
he was like the person both of them answered to in hell. He was like the one that, like, because they basically made out that Jason. Yeah, well, they basically made out that Jason was under the control of Hellraiser because he's like the Demonicon guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So they were saying like Jason was basically kept coming back because Hellraiser kept allowing him to come back, sort of thing.
Yeah,
awesome. It was a cool concept.
There was actually a screenplay written as well for one of those Jason versus Freddy versus Jason films with Hellraiser in it, but it just never saw the light. Oh, wow. That was it. What a week. So much. So much. All right, listen, before we do sign off though, I'm going to attempt it. Let's see. Ready? Yeah, see?
If it just shattered then, that would have been hilarious.
Oh, I know, right? But look, here we go. Let's see if I can get a all that. I can't make it work. See what I layer there? That it's a good lightsaber. It's a cool lightsaber.
Which one is that one?
Smooth Jedi.
It's just one from Padawan Outpost, just a NeoPixel. Hang on. Let's see if I can get something on it.
Smooth fuzz.
What did that say?
Smooth fuzz.
Not what I thought it was going to say. I thought it's...
Why did your lightsaber shout smooth fuzz at people?
Yeah.
Say what?
Why is your lightsaber shouting smooth fuzz?
No, it does say... It says people's name.
Jedi.
Hang on.
Teensy.
Oh, Teensy.
Ray Skywalker.
See, there's Ray. Here we go. Really, listen. See? Does the whole Ray noise and it's got the colour.
What I love is the idea of in Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader's like, smooth fuzz.
But I like this part. Look, I just love the up and down. It's just a pretty cool. It does all the bits. So I don't know. Big boys toy.
My favorite one was the Kylo Ren one that I got sent from Hasbro, the Force Effects lightsaber, because I said in one of my videos that I don't have a lightsaber, so they sent me the big crossguard one, and it was it was the elite one that they released, and it's when you swing it over your head and pull it down, it knows that you put it down, and it does the the noise that it makes when Kylo Ren like swings it over his head. It makes that noise.
That is awesome.
And then just starts going like making that noise. It's brilliant.
I actually really like that lightsaber. That's so cool. Kylo Ren one.
Well, this one.
Well, I don't know. Sorry.
I thought you were talking about mine.
Kylo Ren one.
It's fun.
No, it wasn't about smooth fuzz.
Right. Listen, that's just one of the settings. Says all of the names, all of the characters, and I gave you smooth fuzz. I'm just for the argument's sake now, I'm going to have to see if I can get...
Coming soon to the Black Series.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
Hey, that's all the...
Jedi yet.
You don't know the power of the smooth fuzz.
Listen to that. Look. See, that's all the...
That has to be the intro for the video, is that thing going smooth fuzz.
Yeah, that's it. Can we start every Geek Week now with Smooth
as well.
fuzz.
I can't even remember what I have to press, but it plays music as well. No.
So if your MP3
So
player's
you
not working, but you've got your lightsaber, you're sorted.
Mate, so I'll tell you what, it's actually really awesome. It's still going, that. It's actually really awesome. It plays like different. Oh, it's still going. Ow!
Overcharged it.
Yeah.
Eclectic jazz.
Put too much in. Right, listen. Anyway, let's round it up. Obviously,
Classic FM.
Hard 102.4.
Yeah.
Right,
Country
listen,
classics.
Right, no, I thought I was going to show my lightsaber and you were going to be impressed that you're just ripping the shit out of me. Right.
Beethoven initiated.
That's it. I can't even do the outro. We're done, right? Listen, if you have enjoyed the show, as always, please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. Check out the description below for Sorrel's details and Ryan's details. And of course, we will be back next week for some more.
We've doubled the smooth
fuzz.
and double the fuzz.
No, but on a serious note, it's been a good week. It's been an interesting one. It's been a lot of fun. So if you are enjoying it, then please do like, share, subscribe, all those details. Check out the details below for Sorrel's details and for Ryan's details. And of course, I've lost it. I've completely lost it. I'm wiped. I'm wiped. As always, if you've enjoyed the show, please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. Check out the details below for all of Sorrel's details and, of course, Ryan's details as well. Make sure you go and give those guys a follow if you don't already. We'll be back next week with another Geek Week in review. And obviously, until then,
Smooth
fuzz. Keep it geek.